How do you think camp's going for you? Are you happy with it?
Absolutely. There's always things that you're going to get better at, things that you want to improve on. I think it's taking those and looking at the positives and what I can do looking forward to improve that. So it's not looking in the past, it's not looking in the future, it's staying right where your feet are at and thinking, how can I get better each and every single day.
What have you learned about yourself through this camp and this battle and all of it?
I would say throughout my entire journey of football as a whole, I've learned so much about myself and, how much it takes to persevere and go through challenges, right? Because it's not just a game of football. I think it's a game of life as well, right? Like there's things that go on outside of football that you're going to have to, maybe put in the rearview mirror for a second while I go on the football field. There's things that happen on the football field that you can't let go in your personal life and affect those around you. So there's so many different factors that go into it that I think, there's been so many things. There's been so many people in my life that have affected me, whether as coaches, teammates, mentors, my family members, my faith. So I think there's so many things that I could number off.
You've demonstrated a very coachable attitude. Will you talk about where does that come from? Is it just from college? Is it how you were raised? Where does that come from?
I think certainly it comes from the way that I was raised. Just looking up to my parents and the way that they have shaped me growing up, but also the people and coaches I've had around me. Ever since I was young, I've had disciplined coaches that really cared about the person and the player. It's not just, hey, like you have to do this and that so you can be a great football player, so you got to do this, that, and other thing so you can be a good community member, a good son, a good father someday. And I think a lot of that I contribute to Coach Fleck as well at Minnesota. He was not only about the on-field performance, how you do your thing on the field, but it's also about academics, athletics, your social life, and your spiritual life. So I think when you culminate all of that, it really, really helps you as a person, and it helps you on the field as well. We'd always say, guys are good football players, but they're better people off the field, and I think that's what's really important. And I think it's something that sometimes gets lost, but I really attribute that to all the people that I've had around me growing up.
PJ's been a friend of mine for a long time. You remind him a lot of Robert Spillane, that kind of a guy. Had to come in and kind of work to get here, but he just got big bank, and for you, that's a pretty good compliment. Do you see a lot of Robert in you?
Absolutely, and I haven't had the fortune to have met him, but I've seen so much tape. I've watched his film. I've heard stories from Coach Fleck and then Coach Nickel, our strength coach from Minnesota, and it just is incredible to think about myself being able to emulate that. We're different people, but you can take things from people and add them to your game, to the way that you play. Mm-hmm. And I think certainly to be able to put in a category with Robert Spillane is something that I will 100% take and add to myself.
I've noticed Landon and Devin talking to you a lot. So for you, what have you learned from those two? Seasoned pros.
Seasoned pros is a great way of putting it. Those guys have been around, and it's so awesome to have those guys around me on the football field and off the football field, right? They help me with not only how to take on a block, how to see the path of the back and not get influenced by the offensive line, for example, on the field, those kind of things, but it's also how to watch film, it's how to take care of my body, it's what am I eating, and for me, I would love to take up as much information as I can with more guys like Jermaine Pratt, Jamal Adams, Jalen Smith. Like, you see all the years those guys have been in the NFL, and how could you not learn something from guys like that? And so for me, it's just being a sponge and soaking up as much as I can from those guys in all aspects of the game, not just the field, but off-field stuff as well, because I think that's just as important, if not more, if you want to be able to play for as long as those guys have.
PJ runs his practices a lot like NFL, very fast. It's kind of how he's had his success. So that probably hasn't been an adjustment, but has the heat been the biggest adjustment, or the level of competition for you, Cody?
Honestly, it's a good point. Our practices are very, very similar to this, so that wasn't a big challenge. And honestly, I like the dry heat, to be honest. I really don't mind it. I've heard it's been a little tamer than the past, but Minnesota, man, when it gets up to like even 85, touching 90s, that humidity will get you, man. And but no, I've loved it out here. The fans, the weather. I don't know where else you can look out over your field and see those kind of views. So things of that sort. And then, like I said, the competition, it's just iron sharpens iron, right? You're not going to have a perfect day. Nobody's perfect, but it's taking, like I said, the good and the bad, and learning from it, and moving forward. You can never take a step backwards, but you can always move forward. Also.
What's been the biggest adjustment just going into the NFL? Like, what's the biggest thing you've had to learn on the fly?
I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time? I apologize.
What's the biggest thing you've had to learn on the fly just adjusting to the NFL?
It's a great question. I think for me, a big thing is how am I going to make sure I can keep myself on that football field as much as possible, right? Because the best ability is availability. So for me, it's learning what else I can do with the time that I have in the building, at the hotel, like to take care of my body and take care of my mental state so I can be the best on the football field. Because I can know everything, I can, whatever, run the fastest, hit the hardest, whatever it might be. But if I'm not healthy enough to do it, then that's not going to work, right? So for me, it's a mixture of making sure I can get in the right spot, make the play, but also be able to be out there to do it.
All right, thanks, Cody.
Thanks, Larry.